A wealthy madam wanted to test her daughter-in-law's character, so she deliberately smeared a handful of dirt across her carefully maintained face and knocked on her daughter-in-law's door. Just as she was wondering who this person was, the stranger suddenly said, "I'm your mother-in-law." Only then did the woman realize that this was the mother of the husband she had married in a flash marriage. So she quickly invited her in with great politeness. When the CEO, who was hiding his identity, saw his mother show up uninvited, he was so startled that he spat out a mouthful of water. When he tried to figure out what his mother had come for, a strong smell of pig manure hit him in the face. It turned out that before coming here, she had specially stayed in a pigsty for half an hour, just to see whether her daughter-in-law looked down on the poor and chased after the rich. Unexpectedly, not only did the woman not dislike her, she even thoughtfully led her mother-in-law to sit down on the sofa. Seeing that the woman did not ask a single question about the smell on her body, the mother-in-law instantly felt that she was pretending. So she immediately started complaining tearfully about her miserable life in the countryside. She said she lived alone in the village, raising chickens and pigs, and had worked so hard to bring up her son, only for him to forget all about his mother after getting married and leave her alone in a rundown old house. After hearing this, the woman immediately sensed that something was off. This mother-in-law kept saying she was poor, yet around her neck was a valuable jade necklace. Afraid their cover would be blown, the CEO quickly stepped in to smooth things over. He said it was just a cheap plastic necklace from a street stall, worn only to keep up appearances. The woman actually believed her and said sympathetically that it must be hard for her mother-in-law to live alone in the countryside. Without hesitation, she decided to pack her bags and go back to the countryside with her to raise pigs. The moment she said that, both mother and son froze. The CEO quickly stopped her, saying that the woman was a graduate of a prestigious university, so how could she go to the countryside to raise pigs? Unexpectedly, the woman's enthusiasm did not fade at all. Instead, she excitedly took out her phone to book tickets, and now both of them panicked. The mother-in-law had a sudden idea and said she was thirsty, hoping the woman could pour her a glass of water. After sending the innocent woman away, she still refused to give up and told the CEO that the woman must be acting, pretending to be simple and innocent. But what neither of them could have imagined was that this woman, who was wholeheartedly determined to go raise pigs, was actually the only daughter of the richest family. After her father learned that she had hidden her identity and married a poor man, he was so angry that he wanted to freeze all her bank cards on the spot. But the woman was not afraid at all, because she could already live a life of financial freedom just from collecting rent. Still furious, her father decided to show up in person and drag her back. Just then, the woman's phone rang. The moment she saw the caller note, she instantly realized something terrible was about to happen. It turned out that her assistant was telling her that the chairman was coming to take her back. Since her father's face had appeared in financial news all year round, there was not a single person in this city who did not know him. If her husband and mother-in-law saw him, her identity as an heiress would be completely exposed. Luckily, her father had mistaken the door number and ended up at the wrong place. The clever assistant took the chance to remind the chairman that he still had an important meeting in the afternoon, so her father could only leave unwillingly. Meanwhile, seeing that she could not persuade the CEO, the mother had no choice but to leave. But the woman grabbed her mother-in-law at once, wanting to go back to the countryside with her to raise pigs. The mother-in-law was so frightened that she ran faster than anyone else. The CEO also quickly held the woman back, saying that he had found a job as a security guard, and it would be such a pity to give it up now. Only then did the woman temporarily give up the idea of raising pigs. And so, the young couple began their life as ordinary working people. After arriving at the company, the CEO changed out of his security uniform and into a bespoke suit. Just as he was handling a $10 billion order in his hands, the woman called and said she had made him a loving homemade lunch. The CEO immediately canceled the meeting, quickly changed back into his security uniform, and pretended to be an ordinary employee to see her. Looking at the disastrous homemade meal the woman had made with her own hands, he could only force himself to eat it. Just then, the woman's ex-boyfriend showed up with his new girlfriend. They had heard that the woman had married a poor man, so they had come specifically to laugh at her. The ex-boyfriend directly flipped over their table. The woman was furious and wanted to confront him, but the ex-boyfriend used his position as a manager in the CEO's company to look down on both of them. He even threatened that he could make her security guard husband lose his job in minutes. What he didn't know was that the poor man he looked down on was actually the CEO himself. Seeing the woman being humiliated, the CEO could no longer hold back. He called HR directly and told them to fire the business department manager within 1 minute. The ex-boyfriend still thought the CEO was just bluffing, so he pulled out his phone to call his men over to teach them a lesson. Worried that the CEO might get hurt, the woman quickly called her father and told him to bring people over right away to deal with her ex-boyfriend. Seeing this, the ex-boyfriend's new girlfriend knocked the phone out of her hand and was even about to slap her, but the woman directly blocked her hand, then slapped her back. The woman coldly warned them that they still had time to leave. The ex-boyfriend immediately roared, "Who gave you the nerve to talk to me like that?" But the moment he finished speaking, he received a termination call from HR. Just then, another manager arrived with bodyguards, immediately hugged the security guard's leg, and respectfully called out, "Mr. CEO." Hearing those two words, the woman froze completely in place.